worst levels of the session. Well, more than 150 economists urged Congress to pass, or rather hold off on passing, the $700 billion bailout plan. Joining us over the phone for his reaction to the latest developments is one of those economists. Justin Wolfers, an associate professor of business and public policy at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Justin, we're glad you could join us. What was part of the hesitation? Do you like some of the compromise language that is now in the legislation and up for a vote?
The original hesitation among just about every economist I know is based on three things. The first was a concern that the original Paulson plan was unfair, that it was pretty ambiguous, and that the country's long-run financial architecture probably shouldn't be decided over, within a couple of hours. I thought the president's statement was very clear. I think the compromise language has done quite a bit to start to address some of these concerns, the fairness issues in particular. There's a lot of different ways to unfreeze credit markets. I think what we were most concerned about is unfreezing them in a way that minimizes the cost to taxpayers. And there's, I think, very good reason now to be optimistic that this is not just a huge transfer of wealth to Wall Street, and that the taxpayers may see some of this back in due course.
So you like the language better now?
Absolutely, and I think some of the blank check language that Paulson had asked for now clearly comes with a lot more oversight. The other thing that's interesting, we see, I think, very clear leadership at the moment from a Republican president and a Democratic Congress, and my only remaining fear is that somewhere between here and the vote, that the Republicans in Congress start to festoon this with preferred views about the long-run financial architecture. You were just talking to a Republican congresswoman who...
Yeah, I was going to say she has some pretty definite ideas.
Definite and truly bizarre. 5% across the board cut in funding for government agencies. Is she including the SEC in that? Is she including any, financial regulators in that? Why is it we want to stop government spending right now? We're, currently in a recession. It's one of the strangest things I think I've ever heard. My hope, a good compromise is something that neither side really likes. And the current bill strikes me as achieving that balance.
Okay.
And I do hope that we manage to keep the current bill focused on the bailout.
Justin, we're going to take a very quick break, let you finish that thought in about 2 minutes' time, this idea of balance. We're going to speak with Justin in just a few minutes' time. Justin Wolfers there from the University of Pennsylvania. Keep it here. As promised, we're back with Justin Wolfers. He is an associate professor of business and public policy at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Justin, thanks for staying with us. Before we took the break, you were talking about this bill, in your mind, achieving balance.
Absolutely. And I've certainly heard fairly reasonable complaints from both sides of politics about this final bill. By the same token, one hopes that we're all about unfreezing the credit markets, and at this point it's time to bite the bullet, I think, and accept each side got some of what they wanted, each missed some of what they wanted, but we all want to get the bill passed.
Let's talk about one of these compromise points, Justin, for the Republican side, which is about executive pay. The fact that only members that are participating or would participate in this plan would sort of have their executive pay monitored. What do you make of the language?
I think this is really how political sausage is made. The economic issues here are far, far larger than executive pay. The political cover that the Democrats need in order to vote for this, I think this provides them that political cover. I think that anyone who's understands the process would be sympathetic to that. Equally, the Republicans need some degree of political cover here, but I really think that the whole executive pay issue is beside the point when thinking about will this unfreeze credit markets. But it's absolutely critical. If you talk to your next door neighbour, I certainly have, they seem to regard this as absolutely essential for the bill to be regarded as fair. If that's what the voters think, and that's what we need to do in order to get the thing passed, let's do it.
All right, Justin, we thank you. Justin Wolfers, he is at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Quick check here.